refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back to another episode of Carl Talking College CTC, man. I might be sounding a little bit more happier than normal because it's election Sunday, man. We getting the bracket, baby. On top of getting the bracket, Michigan lost. Let's go. I'm so happy about that, man. I ain't gonna lie. Woke up this morning, I was like, dang, man, Michigan about to win the Big Ten Tournament Championship and the Big Ten. That sucks. I thought they was gonna smack Purdue. I did, and they lost. So I was so happy to see that. Funny enough, Purdue, I believe, is still the last team to win both the Big Ten regular season championship and the Big Ten tournament in the same season. But Purdue won the Big Ten tournament championship game. But the downside, I won't even say downside, because hey, man, I don't like Michigan. But the thing that sucks for us, that probably moves us down the line from the 2 seed to the 3 seed. But it is what it is. I don't care. Happy they ain't win it. But anyway, we got some more automatic qualifiers from the last episode I had from y'all, man. Please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel, helps the network. But like I said, we got some more automatic qualifiers. We're going to start with South Florida. That's where I want to start, man. Congratulations to the South Florida Bulls. I did pick South Florida to win the American Athletic Conference Tournament Championship, and they did that, man. 2 years after Amir Abdul-Rahim tragically passed away, the Bulls are going dancing, man. And I know Abdul-Rahim, he's smiling down on the Bulls. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for Coach Hodgson. Man, I was riding with USF that year with Coach Rahim when they were the number 1 seed in the American Athletic Conference tournament. I was so sad they didn't win that tournament to go dancing, but they make it dancing for the first time since 2012, man. So congratulations and shout out to South Florida. They're going dancing. They're waiting to hear their name called in about another 2-3 minutes. Now, I'm going to say this too. The Selection Sunday show is on my phone on mute. So I can't hear who's going to be the number 1 overall seed. So if you're in the comments, please let me know who's the number 1 overall seed. I can only watch. I can't listen. I don't want to get copyrighted. And shout out to you, Alex Castillo, 5595. Appreciate you for stopping by. But so yeah, if somebody can help me with that, that'd be wonderful. But other than that, everything else is good to go. Let's get into another automatic qualifier. VCU. The VCU Rams won the A10 conference tournament today. They beat Dayton. They were my pick to win the A10 conference tournament. They are going dancing. They went dancing last season, or last year, I should say. But shout out Coach Martelli, first year coming over from Bryant, and he got VCU dancing. Next, we'll get into another automatic qualifier as I guess the Selection Sunday show is about to start. UPenn. Coach Fran McCaffrey leaves Iowa, goes to UPenn. In his first year at UPenn, they go dancing under TJ Power, dropping 44 points, 14 rebounds, including two big threes to force overtime against my Ivy League champ pick Yale. and winning that game in OT. So shout out you, Penn, for going dancing for the first time since 2018. And I need them to rig this. I need you, Penn, to go against Iowa some way, somehow, rig it some way, somehow, to make you, Penn, go against Iowa in the second round. I mean, I call it the first round, but the round of 64. Next, another automatic qualifier. We have Utah State. Utah State won the Mountain West. They were my Mountain West conference tournament champion, and they beat San Diego State, who was a potential bid steal in the Mountain West tournament. They're going dancing. I mean, they went dancing last year, so shout out to them. Next, we have Hawaii. Hawaii beats UC Irvine in the Big West. So shout out to Hawaii. They're going dancing for the first time since 2016. They were oh, hold on. Do we got a bracket release already? Duke, we have a bracket release already. Duke is going to be a 1 seed. And shout out my bro in the comments. But Duke is the 1 seed in the East region. I can't even get to automatic qualifiers. We got straight to the bracket release. Duke is the 1 seed. They will be playing in Greenville, South Carolina, where they take on the Siena Saints. Siena Saints were automatic qualifiers, beating Merrimack in the MAAC. So congratulations to the Siena Saints. Unfortunately, you will be playing Duke. The 8 seed is Ohio State in the East. Ohio State. So we get to see Bruce Thornton and John Mobley, Amari Bynum, freshman, Devin Royal, and they take on TCU. That's a good game. TCU, Ohio State, and the 8-9. Can't lie, I might got an upset here. St. John's is the 5 seed. The 5 seed, St. John's, Red Storm. And I see your comment. I see you got a question, but the bracket is being released. So if you have it, just put it in the comments, and I'll answer it at the end of the bracket release for the East region. I'm BSing. I didn't even put my banner up. We are talking about the East region right now. And St. John's will take on Northern Iowa. Ooh. Now, Northern Iowa, they were the 6th seed in their conference tournament, and won 5 games, I believe, in 5 days. I know it was some type of history there where they beat the 5th seed UIC, University of Illinois Chicago. Kansas is the 4th seed in this bracket. So the Kansas Jayhawks, who got punished by Houston in the Big 12 tournament championship, they will take on Cal Baptist, who was an automatic qualifier. This is their first time ever in the dance. Louisville is the 6th seed. Louisville goes dancing for back-to-back years under Coach Pat Kelsey. I just got the notification my Pistons lost. Well, Louisville will take on South Florida. Keyshawn Pryor will take on his former school in South Florida. Again, South Florida is a school that they haven't gone dancing since 2012. I like that matchup. Michigan State is the 3 seed. Shout out my Michigan State boys. We are the 3 seed in the East region. So we are in the same region as Duke. That is real hilarious. I would love this. And we take on North Dakota State. North Dakota State, man. So that's why I got to look forward to playing. What do we play? Thursday or Friday? We play on a Thursday. So we are the 3 seed. I figured we was going to move down the seed line. We lost to UCLA. UCLA, 7 seed. They play in Philly. They play on a Friday, where they be taking on the UCF Knights. The Golden Knights are in. They were a bubble team. They were definitely a bubble team, so they're super excited to be in. Now, UCF was dropping games late in the year, but they will be taking on the UCLA Bruins on Friday. And the last 2 teams in the East are the 2 seed. The 2 seed. Are we not going to drop it? UConn. The Huskies, UConn Huskies, got blown out by St. John's in the Big East Championship game. Again, I say this UConn team don't remind me of UConn teams of years past. I mean, last year's UConn team wasn't that great either. But UConn as a 2 seed will take on 15th seed. Is this a – nope, they just take on Furman. The Furman Paladins, who won the SoCon championship game. So your East region is now set. I will go over them all again. We have the 1 seed Duke Blue Devils. 16 seed Siena Saints, 8th seed Ohio State Buckeyes, 9th seed TCU Horned Frogs, 5th seed St. John's Red Storm, 12th seed Northern Iowa, 4th seed Kansas, 13th seed Cal Baptist, 6th seed Louisville, 11th seed South Florida, 3rd seed Michigan State Spartans, 14th seed North Dakota State, 7th seed UCLA Bruins, 10th seed UCF Golden Knights, 2nd seed UConn Huskies, and 15th seed Furman Paladins. That is your East region. Now, for potential upsets, or what I can see as being an upset in this bracket, Ohio State has a really good offense. Bruce Thornton is tough to stop. John Mobley can shoot from anywhere. But TCU has been one of the hottest teams in the country of late. They really have. And they played Kansas close. They lost by 5. They want to say they won like 7, 8 straight before losing to Kansas. They were streaking. I think TCU can upset Ohio State with David Punch, with Xavier Edmonds, Jaden Pierre. They have a pretty good offense of their own. Now, size-wise, Ohio State does have the advantage over TCU. But if TCU can get going offensively, that could be a potential upset. Louisville struggles of late. Louisville's been a team that struggles on the road. South Florida is a team that can score. I can see an 11 seed South Florida beating a Louisville here too. Louisville, they have a good team. I don't know Michael Brown's status. I would assume that Michael Brown is going to be a go for the tournament, which may change my opinion. But if Michael Brown isn't playing for the Louisville Cardinals, then I think this game can get ugly. South Florida, they got a scoring option of Wes Ennis, who can get to the basket, who can score. Isaiah, the big man, he's like 6'8". I can't remember his last name right now, but he's an athletic big. He's 6'8". He could shoot the 3 ball. He had a pump fake and go on Will Berg early in the game, dunked it. And then they got Joe Pena from Arkansas State, man, who can also shoot the ball. So South Florida is a team that Louisville has to potentially look out for. You can't take them lightly. UCF could potentially. What is going on? Am I good? I just saw myself freeze. Am I good? Am I good? Okay, cool. I think I'm good now. UCF is a potential upset I like. UCF, man, is a team that can defend. Now, Donovan Dent has been playing some great basketball for UCLA. He has. And UCLA is a good team. But Tyler Bilodeau, he went out of the Michigan State game with a knee injury. How will he be Friday? Now, Friday will give him a week since this has happened. But how severe is this injury? UCF, team that can score. They can play defense. Johnny Dawkins has got this team well coached. Man, UCLA is a team that can struggle with that, going from all the way to the West Coast to playing in Philly. That can be a huge difference there. So those are my 3 potential upsets. In this one, UCF could potentially upset UCLA in the round of 64. I think TCU could potentially upset Ohio State in the round of 64. And I think South Florida could potentially upset Louisville in the round of 64. I do like UConn over Furman. I like Michigan State over North Dakota State, which Michigan State better come ready to play. I don't need no first half slow starts. You dominate start to finish. Kansas should be Cal Baptist. Now, I want to talk about Cal Baptist real quick because Cal Baptist got a guy in Dominique Daniels who can absolutely score the basketball. He hit clutch basket after clutch basket in that WAC final game against Utah Valley, especially that last step back 3 to put Cal Baptist up 2. Now, Utah Valley had an unfortunate missed dunk to tie it and potentially send to overtime. But without the heroics of Dominique Daniels hitting them 3 threes in like a minute, 2 minutes, Cal Baptist does not win that game. So Kansas better be on the lookout for Dominique Daniels because he can absolutely score the basketball. I do like St. John's over Northern Iowa. St. John's is a team that can really score the basketball at a high rate, and they can defend really well. They're obviously well coached with Rick Pitino as the head coach. And Duke, I think, is just going to dominate Siena. I love the feel-good story of Siena. Again, Coach Jerry McNamara in his 3rd year got him dancing. I believe it's his 3rd year. Has them dancing. But, man, Duke, man, they just won the ACC championship and the ACC tournament championship with no Patrick Nwamba, who may be back, and Caleb Foster. So We have the next bracket reveal. Arizona is the 1 seed, I'm going to assume, of the West region. The region isn't announced yet. Well, there hasn't shown it yet. I can't hear, so I don't know. Yep, the West region. So the West region, the Arizona Wildcats, is the 1 seed where they will be taking on. Which, by the way, congrats on them by winning the Big 12 championship, beating Houston. They were my pick to win the Big 12 championship. LIU, the Sharks. Coach Speedy Claxton and LIU, man. Rod Strickland and LIU. Speedy Claxton's Hofstra. The 8 seed is Villanova. Shout out Coach Kevin Willard, man. Oh, man. God, I just spelled Villanova wrong. Fixed it. And they will be taking on Utah State again. I have this as an upset. This is an 8-9 upset to me. Utah State's been playing great basketball. Villanova has a main injury in Matt Hodge. I got this as an upset, man. I'll save it, but yeah, man, this is a great 8-9 game. The 5th seed in the West region is Wisconsin Badgers. Ooh, we got some strong 5 seeds this year. I can't lie. Wisconsin and St. John's being 5 seeds. Those are teams that could potentially win the bracket. Can't even tell. I got to tell the truth. And they will be taking on the High Point. I forgot High Point's mascot. I can't even lie to you. But they will be taking on High Point, which I'm sorry, High Point. Winners of the Big South. Wisconsin, man. Wisconsin's a team that could lose in the round of 32, or they could go to the Final Four, man. If Nolan Winter comes back too, that is a big addition to this Wisconsin team. The Arkansas Razorbacks is the 4th seed in this bracket. So we can potentially have Arkansas, Wisconsin in the round of 32. And they will be taking on the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii, who has big man Isaac Johnson, and they have Dre Bullock. Hawaii is a very talented Big West team. Can't sleep on them if you're Arkansas, they do have size. BYU is the 6th seed in this West bracket, where they lost Richie Saunders for the year with an ACL injury, but they're still a pretty good team. Now, it does show at times why they miss him. Well, but they will be taking on the 11th seed between Texas and NC State. So Texas and NC State, both bubble teams, both make it in as I think that's what the last 4 in. I think that's what they're part of. I'm pretty sure. But either way, Texas and NC State both make it in. They will play Tuesday. The 3 seed is the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Gonzaga won the last time. Well, they won the WCC tournament, which that will be their last time to date being a part of the WCC, where they will take on Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State is a real feel-good story. They lost their leading scorer, who was averaging like 20 points a game, and Cottle, due to alleged point shaving allegations. But anyway, 7th seed is Miami Hurricanes taking on the 10th seed Missouri Tigers. This is a really good game. Missouri makes it in the tournament. They were a bubble team. This is a really good game. I would be, all eyeballs need to be on this game right here. That's a really good game. And shout out Coach Jay Lucas. And Purdue is the 2 seed in the West region, where they will be. Oh, they didn't show. I thought they were showing who Purdue will be playing. Purdue, again, thank you so much for, helping me out today, winning the Big Ten championship over Michigan. I normally don't like you guys, but they will be taking on Queens University in their first ever appearance in the dance. Oh, that's why I kept going out. I keep hitting the thing, trying to write. But that is your West region. Give me a second to drink some water, and I will re-go over it. Oh, it must be on a timer. It is on a timer. I don't know why it's on a timer. Give me 1 second. Bruh, let me turn this timer off. It's not letting me turn the timer off. It's starting to irritate me. There we go. So that's why I kept going away. All right, cool. I didn't even realize it was on the timer. But your West region, we got Arizona, the 1 seed, taking on 16 seed LIU. 8th seed Villanova, taking on 9th seed Utah State. 5th seed Wisconsin, taking on 12th seed High Point. 4th seed Arkansas, taking on 13th seed Hawaii. 6th seed BYU, taking on 11th seed Texas Texas or NC State, excuse me. 3 seed Gonzaga taking on 14 seed Kennesaw State. 7 seed Miami Hurricanes taking on 10 seed Missouri. And 2 seed Purdue taking on 15 seed Queens University. I am looking forward to seeing Miami of Ohio or the Red Hawks, however they want to be announced, in one of these next two regions. But you know what time it is, potential upsets. And I told y'all my first one, Utah State over Villanova. Again, Villanova is a good defensive team, a great defensive team, some might say. It's a good team in general. But I believe the Matt Hodge injury is big, in my opinion. So I think Utah State, although Utah State doesn't have much size, they're not like the tallest team. They're not. They have some size, but not the greatest. I just think that they can score. You got MJ Collins, who didn't win Mountain West Conference Player of the Year. That went to Mason Falslab, also his teammate. But he can score at a high rate. Mason Falslab can score at a high rate. And they just play well together. They're a well-coached team. They play good defense. They can score the basketball. And they got guys who can go get you a bucket. While Villanova, Caden Lewis out of the DMV, he's been playing absolutely phenomenal. Great point guard. Freshman point guard. Bryce Lindsey can be inconsistent. Duke Brennan's going to have to hold down the front by himself, which could be tough. Give me Utah State over Villanova. I like that might be my only potential upset. I can't hold you. I like Wisconsin over High Point. Arkansas, Darius Acuff, man, we're going to have some conversations about Darius Acuff after this tournament. But Darius Acuff, he can lead them over Hawaii. I don't know who in Hawaii is going to stop Acuff from scoring. Then, I mean, and I'll say this. I said this on the show again. I'll say this again. I normally don't like to pick teams who get most of their production from their starters. Like, I think Arkansas today went too deep with DJ Wagner, who, shout out to him, had a solid game, and Ewing. But, man, Darius Acuff is so talented. It is ridiculous. I have BYU beating the winner of Texas and NC State. Both teams, to me, Texas and NC State have been playing bad basketball down the stretch. I don't even know who I would pick in the Texas-NC State matchup as of right now. And I don't have to know right now. I need to know by Tuesday. But still, I don't know who I would pick in said matchup. I am kind of happy to see Texas in, though. I am a huge Jordan Pope fan. I've been a Jordan Pope fan since he was at Oregon State. So I'm happy to see him in the dance. Also, Swain. I do like Swain. Swain is tough, for sure. But obviously, I have Gonzaga over Kennesaw State. Another potential upset, I would not be surprised if Mizzou beats Miami Hurricanes. I do have Miami Hurricanes winning that game, but I wouldn't be shocked if Mizzou wins it. But I wanted to give a shout out to Jay Lucas again for a phenomenal job he did at Miami. They were at the bottom of the ACC last year. This year, they were third in the ACC. But since I only have one potential upset, and that is Utah State over Villanova, we will do the dark horse of this conference. And I kind of alluded to it earlier. My dark horse in this conference is Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a team. Now, if you want, I'll explain why. But if you don't want to say, oh, Carl, that's a fifth seed. That's not a dark horse. I have another one. But it's Wisconsin. Here's why. They can play with anybody. They have the size to play with anybody. Excuse me. And not only do they have the size to play with anybody, they got the guard play to play with anybody. I talk about Darius Acuff, and rightfully so. He's a top 5, I'm not paying, probably a top 3 draft pick next season or this coming draft. But Wisconsin has Nick Boyd and John Blackwell. Now, I know a lot of people give Nick Boyd flat because he's like 23, 24, but John Blackwell, he right there with him. So they got the guard play as well to play with anybody. So Wisconsin is my dark horse. Now, if you're not going to accept Wisconsin as an answer, fine. I'll go with Miami. I'm going to go with the Hurricanes. Trey Donaldson in the clutch has been playing very well. Ernest Udoh. I love his activity, his motor around the rim. Malik Ronald is a problem down low, scoring the basketball. I seen him shoot some threes. I don't know if I'm really just ready to say that's really his game for real, but Malik Ronald is a problem. Then they have guys like True Washington who could defend, who can score. Dante Allen can shoot the 3 ball. Shelton Henderson, tough going to the basket. Miami is another dark horse, in my opinion, in this region. And another thing with me is Gonzaga. With Braden Huff, I don't know if he's back. I heard he's trending, but who knows? So that's key to look out for. But we got another region being unveiled. And Michigan is the one seed, excuse me, of said region. I'm assuming it's the Midwest region. So we're gonna put this up here for right now. But if it's wrong, then I'll change it. It is the Midwest region. So Michigan is the one seed in the Midwest region. Where excuse me, they will be taking on the winner of UMBC versus Howard. So the battle of the DMV versus Baltimore. That is hilarious. So Michigan again lost the Big Ten tournament championship, excuse me, because they won the Big Ten championship. Don't want to discredit that, even though they tried to discredit ours last year. The 8 seed is Georgia. Georgia's in the dance. I like this Georgia team. I want to see who they play. Where they will take on the St. Louis Billikens. I don't have an upset here. St. Louis has not been playing great basketball lately. They just have not. But shout out to Robbie Avila and Coach Josh Schwartz for making the dance as an at-large. They were not an AQ, not an automatic qualifier, losing to Dayton in the semifinals. 5th seed, Texas Tech. They say that Christian Anderson should be a go for the dance, but we will see. Thankfully, they play on Friday, so they get that extra day to test out their groin for Christian Anderson. Well, they will be taking on the Akron. I forgot what Akron Zips. The Akron Zips. Man, this is a good matchup. This is a great matchup with no JT Toppin. I don't want to say this is potential upset alert, but this might be a potential upset alert, man. I like this Akron team with Tavari Johnson and company. So next we have Alabama as the 4 seed. I wonder who. Did I already announce UPenn? Is this UPenn? This might be UPenn. Let's see. Well, they be taking on. I think I already announced. No, I didn't announce UPenn. Hofstra, the pride of Hofstra. Now this is Coach Speedy Claxton and the boys. Hofstra winning the CAA tournament. They beat Monmouth in the championship game. Hofstra is a pretty good team that can score the basketball, but Alabama is super efficient. They can score the basketball at will. And speaking of guard play, Aiden Holloway and LeBaron Fallon. LeBaron Fallon, future NBA player, as y'all know. Tennessee is the 6th seed in this tournament, where they will be taking on, in Philly, by the way, Miami of Ohio or SMU. Oh, no. So Miami of Ohio gets in the round of 68. They are not firmly in the tournament. I'm sad to see this. I really am. I was hoping they'd be in around the 64. So they will be in Dayton taking on SMU. Sucks. I like both teams, to be honest. If I had to say right now, I think SMU wins that matchup, though. Virginia is the 3 seed. Shout out Coach Ryan Odom. Again, another coach who did a spectacular job. Virginia was after Tony Bennett was left in a bad space. They went into the ACC championship game and they were second. Well, they will be taking on Wright State Raiders. One of the more confusing logos. They have a dog as their logo, but they're the Raiders. But anyway, 7 seed Kentucky takes on 10 seed Santa Clara. This is upset alert, in my opinion. Kentucky, really good team. So is Santa Clara, man. Santa Clara is a really good team. They got a guy in Christian Hammond that can score the ball. They got another guy in Mahi's pretty solid. So now Kentucky's going to have the size over Santa Clara. Santa Clara does have a big who's tall, but he's not really he doesn't play as much. He doesn't get a lot of minutes. But Iowa State is the 2 seed in this bracket, where they will be taking on. Come on, announce it already. They will be taking on Tennessee State and Coach Nolan Smith. So your Midwest bracket has been announced, and it is official. The MAC is the first. The MAC is a 2-bid league for the first time since 1999. So again, this year in college basketball has been nothing but history, and you could just now add that to the list of history being made this year. So I'm going to go over the bracket yet again after I sip some water because my mouth is starting to get dry. Excuse me. So we have 1 seed, Michigan, taking on the winner of UMBC And Howard, again, DMV versus Baltimore. 8th seed, Georgia, taking on 9th seed, St. Louis. 5th seed, Texas Tech, taking on 12th seed, Akron. 4th seed, Alabama, taking on 13th seed, Hofstra. 6th seed, Tennessee, taking on 11th seed, Miami, Ohio, taking on the winner of Miami, Ohio, and SMU. 3rd seed, Virginia, taking on 14th seed, Wright State. 7th seed, Kentucky, taking on 10th seed, Santa Clara. And 2 seed, Ohio State, taking on 15th seed, Tennessee State. Now, I would like to say it sucks that Tennessee State is playing Iowa State, but Tennessee State got 2 guys that can go. And Aaron Nkrumah and Travis Harper II. And not to forget, Dante Harris, who played at Georgetown, played major D1 basketball before. So Tennessee State's no slouches. They can score the basketball. But I just think Iowa State, they're well coached. They're disciplined. They're a really, really good defensive team. And Tammin Lipsey and Killian Torrey are 2 guards defensively that are tough to score on. Killian Torrey, man, he's a freshman. He's looking to carry on the mantle for Iowa State moving forward. But we got to get into our potential upsets. And I have one. The only potential upset I have in this is Kentucky losing to Santa Clara. Kentucky's a really good team. They got guard play. I'll take Owe, Denzel Aberdeen. Colin Chandler has been playing well. They got bigs, Brandon Garrison. They actually win games when Brandon Garrison plays really well. They got Malachi Marino. But Santa Clara is a really good basketball team. Now, I'm not saying Santa Clara wins this game. No, I am not. But if I had to pick an upset in this bracket, it would be that game. Again, Christian Hammond is a guy who can score from all over the court for them. They have Allen Groves, who's a tough, he can score down low in the interior. They got Elijah Mahi, who he can score, he can shoot. Sometimes I feel like he need to get off the rock a little bit, get the ball back to Christian Hammond, but he's still a good player for them. And if they need to, they can go to Bucky Oboye a little bit more. But that's my potential upset in this bracket. Other than that, I obviously got Michigan beating the winner, UMBC Howard. I got Georgia over St. Louis. I have Texas Tech over Akron. That is another potential upset, though. If Christian Anderson isn't a go, Akron's a really good team. Akron could compete with some D1 schools. Akron can score the ball, not defensively. Need a little help. But no JT Toppin does make Texas Tech a little susceptible to some things. But Grant McCaslin has been doing a great job coaching Texas Tech. But Akron is a team that could potentially win that game. I'm going to pick Texas Tech over Akron, but that is a game to look out for. I have Bama over Hofstra. I think Bama just scores entirely way too well. Tennessee over the winner of Miami of Ohio, SMU. Now, Tennessee, I'm not going to say they've been playing the greatest basketball of late. I'm not going to say that. But if Miami of Ohio wins, I think Tennessee's length with Estrella, Akpara, Carey, even Nate Amon is just going to be a little too much for Miami of Ohio to deal with. And if SMU wins, I still don't believe in how good SMU's been playing. Also, BJ Edwards, is he playing in this tournament? And last I seen him, he had a boot on his foot. So that's also a big missing piece for SMU. I have Virginia over Wright State. I think Virginia is a really talented team. I think Michigan wins this bracket, but I think Virginia is probably my second pick in this bracket. Iowa State's a little inconsistent when they're not at home, in my opinion. I already talked to you about Santa Clara and Kentucky, and I have Iowa State over Tennessee State, man. But do I have a dark horse? Oh, well, I don't think I have time for a dark horse. I think they're about to go right into the last region, which is the South region. But until I see a graphic pop up. Oh, never mind. They're going right into it. Sorry. We'll go into our last region, the South region, where the Florida Gators, despite being upset in the semifinals by Vanderbilt and ruining my pick of the SEC championship tournament, they are. Is there a time on this too? What is going on? There's a time on this. What is going on today, man? I didn't set no timers for none of this. but they are the 1 seed in the South region, where they will be taking on the winner of Prairie View, A&M, and Lehigh. So the SWAC conference champion and the Patriot League champion. So we are not. Well, I should have known that. I should have announced that already. Anyway, Clemson is the 8th seed taking on 9th seed Iowa. So we won't get the rig. UPenn, Iowa. I don't know if I have this. Well, this is potential upset alert. Vandy is the 5th seed. Vandy is the 5th seed. Will they be? Oh, I thought that by announcing it. All right, I'll say this real quick. Clemson doesn't have Nate Whalen. He is Carter Whalen. Excuse me. He is out, I believe. So they could get upset. Ooh, Vandy taking on McNeese. This might be an upset too. McNeese, they play defense. They get up in you. They are tough to score on. But Vandy got some guys that's tough too. Nebraska is your 4th seed. We have one more. This is the last region, by the way. I don't want to see Auburn. If I see Auburn name, I might lose it. But Nebraska is taking on 13th seed Troy, the winners of the Sun Belt, the Troy Trojans. Shout out to them. They're in the tournament for back-to-back seasons. Your 6th seed, North Carolina, UNC. In spite of losing Caleb Wilson, they have been playing good basketball lately. They lost to Clemson by 1. It's a tough loss. Is what it is. They will be taking on 11 seed, and they're playing in Greenville, South Carolina, too. Go figure. They will be taking on 11 seed VCU. VCU, the Rams, who won the A-10 Conference Tournament Championship earlier today. It's a good matchup. I think North Carolina should win this, but it's a good matchup. So we have 6 more teams left to be revealed. Maybe more. Probably 8, because I think it's one more round of 68 game that needs to be announced. But Illinois is your 3rd seed. Is your 3rd seed. Will they be taking on UPenn as a 14 seed? My lord. So Fran McCaffrey is taking on a Big Ten school, not the Big Ten school I wanted, but he is taking on a Big Ten school, so he has some familiarity there. 4 to 6 more teams left, because again, I think there's one more round of 68 game that needs to be revealed. Your 7th seed is the St. Mary's Gales. St. Mary's is a really good team. St. Mary's will be taking on Texas A&M. Texas A&M, they have not been playing the greatest of lately. They actually, I think, to me, Texas A&M snuck in the back door, and Houston is your 2 seed. So Auburn did not make the dance. They're not making Auburn a 15th seed. So Auburn did not get in, which good. They didn't deserve to. Houston will be taking on, I'm assuming this is around the 60. No, they're taking on Idaho. So all the games have been announced. All the teams have been announced. Auburn did not make it. Oklahoma did not make it, which I knew Oklahoma wasn't going to make it. Who am I missing? New Mexico did not make it. I'm probably missing some more teams off the top of my head right now. But, yeah, man, this is your brackets. I've been set. I'm going to announce everything in 1 second. Again, if somebody could tell me who's the number 1 overall seed, I thought it should be Duke. But, it should be Duke. Duke should be the number 1 overall seed. But somebody let me know in the comments, please, who the number 1 overall seed is. But yeah, I'm about to read off the bracket again for the South region. So your 1 seed is Florida. Your 16 seed is the winner of Prairie View, A&M, and Lehigh. Your 8 seed is Clemson. Your 9 seed is Iowa. Your 5 seed is Vanderbilt. Your 12 seed is McNeese. Your 4 seed is Nebraska. Your 13 seed is Troy. Your 6 seed is UNC. Your 11 seed is VCU. Yeah, all right, cool. Appreciate you, bro. I figured it'd be Duke, and it better have been Duke. Your 3 seed is Illinois. Your 14 seed is UPenn. Your 7 seed is St. Mary's. Your 10th seed is Texas A&M. Your 2 seed is Houston, and your 15 seed is Idaho. So here's the breakdown by conference. You have 10 SEC teams, which I still feel like is excessive. 9 Big Ten schools. Oh, here we go. This is what I really want to talk about. Last 4 in was NC State, Texas, SMU, and Miami of Ohio was the literal last of the last 4 in. First 4 out was Oklahoma, Auburn, San Diego State, and Indiana. That's right. Indiana did not make it into the dance. I was kind of sad that they kind of went out early because I kind of wanted to see Lamar Wilkinson in the dance and Coach Darian DeVries. I think this is Tucker DeVries last season too. But it is what it is. They did not handle business. So can't be mad there. I got to go back to I can go back now because there was no more graphics. Here we go. Let's go back to, we have 9 Big Ten teams. I don't think none of the 9 teams that got in from the Big Ten shouldn't have got in. I think they all deserve to be in. ACC got 8 teams, which is a ton of teams from the ACC, more than normal. And again, I don't think that any of the ACC teams that got in shouldn't have got in. The Big 12 got 8. Again, I'm fine with that. The Big East got their big 3. WCC got their 3. The Atlantic 10 got 2. And MAC got 2. And everybody else obviously got 1. Again, the only thing I was kind of not crazy over is the SEC having 10. But who are you going to put in? So I guess by, lack of teams, I'm cool with it. I know a lot of people possibly wanted Belmont. Belmont don't got a coach right now. They're not playing in the NIT. But that is your bracket. Now, for the South region, got to do potential upsets, man. And I might got a couple. We're going to start with the first one. Iowa over Clemson. I'm going Iowa over Clemson. Bennett Sturts is a problem. He is a bucket getter. He can score in any type of way he needs to or wants to. Iowa plays defense, and Iowa played well in the non-con. Clemson is a good school. Do not get me wrong. But Clemson does have an injury. I am going to take the Iowa Hawkeyes over Clemson. Another potential upset. McNeese could potentially upset Vanderbilt, man. They really can. McNeese, led by Larry Johnson. Again, they play defense. They get up in you. They play you 94 feet sometimes. They play great defense. A guy like Javon Garcia, he can get hot. Tyshawn Archie, he can score the basketball. Garway Dwell played at Seton Hall. He has D1, major D1 experience. McNeese is a great team. I think McNeese can at least beat Vanderbilt. If they beat Vandy, they could possibly beat Nebraska. But another upset I potentially have. Oh no, that's it. I have Florida winning over Prairie View A&M or Lehigh. I have Nebraska beating Troy. I have UNC beating VCU. I have Illinois beating UPenn. I have St. Mary's beating Texas A&M. I do. And I have Houston over Idaho. So those are my 2 potential upsets. I have Iowa over Clemson, and I have McNeese possibly beating Vanderbilt. Now, as a dark horse in this region, I don't really have one. Not in this region. I think Florida should win this region. Florida and Houston in the Elite Eight. It'll be a nice championship rematch. But I think Florida is just too much. This Houston team is not of years past to me. They're solid. They're really good, actually. But against better competition, I don't know if I trust them like I did in years past. Florida, on the other hand, they had a mental lapse. Vandy shot the ball really well in the semifinals. But Florida's a really good team. They got the size. They got the guard play. Thomas Houck, all those guys. It's going to be tough, man. It is going to be tough, especially if Houston Biggs get in foul trouble. So Florida is my winner of the South region. We're going to go back to the East region. Oh, no. Did I pick? I don't remember if I picked a potential dark horse in the East. So we're just going to go back, and I'm going to look over it. So in the East, if I had to pick one, I would say no, I don't have one. Maybe St. John's at 5th. St. John's at 5th is a team I feel like could win the East region. Now, some people might say that's a cop-out because they have 5 seed. To you, I say if it is, I have nothing for you. But St. John is a team that I feel like could play with anybody in this conference, including Duke, especially with the injuries that they have. Zuby Ejiofor could play with Cam Boozer. I would actually love to see that matchup of Zuby Ejiofor versus Cam Boozer. Bryce Hopkins, tough getting to the basket, scoring the basketball. Osiah Sellers can shoot the three ball. Dylan Mitchell is a glue guy, makes the hustle plays, does the dirty work. Ian Jackson still on that team. So I feel like St. John's has the potential to win this whole region. They could beat a Duke. They can beat a Kansas. They can beat a Michigan State. I'm actually nervous if we have to play St. John. But I don't think we would play them until the Elite Eight. But I would be nervous in that matchup. They can beat UConn. As you see, they beat them twice. Blew them out in the third game. So St. John in the East is my dark horse. In the South, I said it was Wisconsin. In the Midwest, I didn't pick one. I think we moved too fast. In the Midwest, don't have one. I don't. I think that, I mean, maybe Texas Tech, but Texas Tech is dealing with injuries. Hold on. We got the top 4 seeds by region. Duke was a 1 seed. UConn was a 6. We were a 9, so we were the first 3 seed. And Kansas was a 15. The West, Arizona was a 2. Purdue was an 8, last on a 2 seed. Gonzaga was 11. Arkansas was a 16. They had the highest total seed total. South was Florida as a 4, so they was the last one. But Houston was the first 2. Illinois was a 10. Nebraska was a 13. Michigan, so South, that's the South. And the Midwest, Michigan was the third one. Iowa State was the third 2. Virginia was the last 3. And Alabama was the second 4. So seed total 36. So the lowest is the East. The highest was the West. I can cut this off now. I don't need this show anymore. We're going to talk about some college basketball on our own. And I ain't going to be on here too long because it is what it is. My job is mainly done. But a dark horse in the Midwest. If it ain't Texas Tech, I don't see it. I don't. I think Michigan wins this bracket as a 1 seed. Tennessee, again, hasn't been playing consistent enough basketball for me to pick them. Kentucky, they're a team that could get out the first round and possibly, if they get out Santa Clara and Iowa State, I can see Kentucky. But that's tough for me to see Kentucky beating both Santa Clara and Iowa State. So if I had to pick one, a device that can, do something to your life critically to my head, I would pick Kentucky. Because I don't feel right not picking one. So I'm going to pick Kentucky as a potential dark horse. And in the West, I didn't pick one. And again, I don't feel right not picking one. So if I had to pick one out the West, it would be. Oh, wait, I did pick one out the West. My fault. I didn't pick one out the Midwest, I don't think. That's the one. No, it was the South. That was the last bracket reveal that I didn't pick. Man, I don't know. I didn't confuse myself. Jesus. Because they're not in order. So excuse me. Yeah, it's the South. I didn't pick one. Oh, Lord. I don't like nothing about the South other than Florida and Houston. Oh, this is tough. I really don't see one. You know what? Push come to shove. If I had to pick a dark horse, and to me, a dark horse is like a 5 seed and up. I say a dark horse for real is like 5 to like 8, 9, because I think 10 on back is more so a Cinderella. A dark horse for me, man, I guess I would go with Vandy. Yeah, that would be my dark horse, Vandy, because obviously Vandy's beating Florida. They beat them in the tournament. The last time before the tournament they played, they lost by 4. Vandy can beat Nebraska. Vandy can beat UNC. Vandy could beat Illinois. Vandy could beat anybody in this bracket. So if I had to pick a dark horse, I'm gonna go with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, really good team. Tyler Nickel can shoot the ball. Tyler Tanner is super quick. Duke Miles very fast and strong as a guard. Dwight McLaughlin as a big can shoot the ball and play in the paint. Vanderbilt is my dark horse in the South. So we'll go everything over again. So in the East region, my dark horse in the East is St. John's. My dark horse in the South is Vanderbilt. Both 5 seeds. Like I said, we got some tough 5 seeds. I can't lie. My dark horse in the Midwest is Kentucky. And my dark horse in the West was Wisconsin. So 3 5s and a 7. Because I ain't going to lie, I really do like the 5 seeds this year. We got some comments. What's good, Carl? I see Miami of Ohio made it in. Yes, they did. They did. Unfortunately, they have to go to Dayton and play in the round of 68. But nonetheless, they did make the MAC a 2-bid league. So shout out to the committee for that. Did not have faith in the committee to make that happen, but proved me wrong and got it done. Are you hosting another R2L bracket? Of course, Tomo. You already know what it is. I need to win one finally. I did not win the last two. I've had too well of a bracket to not win last season. So of course I'm coming for that bracket and them bragging rights, man. I'm coming for it. And if you don't know what Tomo is talking about, if you're an R2L member, you can join our R2L bracket challenge. It is free with the membership. There is no cash prize because I ain't balling. But if you win, you can come on my show, talk your trash. PG, of course, no cursing. But you talk your trash. You got your own little segment. Talk about the tournament at the end of the year, stuff like that. So become a member of R2L. Join the bracket challenge. But again, please like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. This is my 3rd annual Selection Sunday show. And, man, they're always fun to do. My first one was featuring Dave and Teddy. My last 2 has been solo. But, again, always fun to do. I was supposed to have my guy come on, but he had a men's league game. We're actually talking about the bracket tomorrow. So 9 o'clock tomorrow, we will be going over the bracket. Same stuff, dark horse, potential upsets, teams you like, teams you don't, et cetera, et cetera. Again, that's tomorrow at 9 o'clock. But I see like 30 of some of y'all in here, man. Please subscribe. It helps the channel. It helps the network. And if you got any questions, shoot away, man. I'll probably be on here for another 3 to 5 minutes. So I would love to answer some of your questions to the best of my ability, for sure. But yeah, man, this was a fun thing. I'm just so happy that March Madness is back. I got some big shoes to fill from last year, man. I can't lie. I think last year I went like 50-something to 10 in the March Madness. NIT, I think I had single-digit losses. I think I went like 27, 28, and 9 or something like that. By the way, I do both tournaments. I do the NIT and I do March Madness. I'm not going to do a bracket release show for the NIT because I don't think they're having a show to reveal it. They didn't have one last year. But I go over both games. Both tournament games. I even did this the college basketball crown, the CBC and the CBI. So we work hard over here, man, to give y'all content about any and every college basketball tournament available. So again, please subscribe. It helps your boy out a lot. But yeah, man, I don't see any questions in the comments, so we're gonna sign off. Shout out Michigan State for the 3 seed. Shout out Purdue for winning the Big Ten tournament championship. Couldn't have Michigan having double bragging rights. That would just be insane. That would be terrible. Shout out to the committee for getting it right. Got to do that. Shout out to the committee for getting it right. No Auburn. Miami of Ohio is in. I know a lot of people probably sick. I don't care. I'm happy. Shout out to them for getting it right. Shout out to you know what? This is what I'm about to do. We have the round of 68. I'm not going to pick a winner. I'm not going to discuss them in depth. That's for Tuesday. But we do have some pretty solid matchups. And I'm going to go over a game that I really want to see. And that's actually Texas NC State. Because NC State, man, coached by Will Wade, obviously left McNeese to take this job. They took my boy Trey Holloman away, and he's over there. But they, like I said, they've not been playing great of late. Now, they started winning some games in the tournament. I forgot who actually put them out. I want to say Louisville put them out, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, they ended the regular season kind of bad. Texas also ended the regular season kind of bad. But these 2 teams are both offensively orientated, in my opinion. So it should be a fun matchup to watch. Joe says, I'm definitely locked in with Kansas, BYU, and Arkansas. So Kansas is actually playing a bucket. I don't know how long you've been here. They're playing a guy that's a bucket, and Dominique Daniels at Cal Baptist. So that should be a somewhat fun game to watch. Kansas probably better blow them out. But I would say watching Dominique Daniels against that team should be fun. BYU pulled an 11 seed. They play actually the winner of Texas and NC State. I do have BYU beating whoever wins that game. SMU, however, I feel like SMU could beat BYU, but AJ might go crazy against them. And then Arkansas, Arkansas plays Hawaii, and then if they win, they play Wisconsin. And Darius Acuff against John Blackwell or Nick Boyd is going to probably be one of the most fun games to watch this season. So that's going to be fun. And he says he's watching them as a Kings fan. Dominique Daniels did. Now, I don't know how much draft, but I don't even know if Dominique Daniels has any draft buzz at all. But he's a guy that can score the basketball. So I'm interested to see how he does against Kansas. Shout out the committee for getting it right about Duke being the number 1 overall seed too. I thought maybe they might give it. I felt like they were going to give it to Michigan if Michigan won the Big Ten tournament championship. Duke got the injuries to, again, Patrick Nomba and Caleb Foster. What I was about to say, Michigan would have won the tournament. Thank God they didn't. So I thought they might have given it to them, but I didn't think they would be the 3rd 1 seed either. Florida was the 4th, so that means that Arizona was the first second 1 seed, which I'm not mad at either. Arizona won their conference tournament. They just had one bad week of college basketball. Other than that, flawless throughout. So I'm not mad at that. But this is what I want to say. I can't fall for Arizona, man. I can't do it. I'm gonna try my hardest not to fall for Arizona. But if Arizona and Wisconsin match up, boy, oh boy, this is gonna be a college memory unlocked rematch. When I was in college, Arizona was featured Nick Johnson, Rodney Hollis Jefferson, TJ McConnell, Aaron Gordon. Wisconsin had Frank Kaminsky. I can't remember Nigel Hayes, that's his name. Nigel Hayes, Sam Decker. And I was all in on Arizona that year. And Wisconsin won that game. I was so hurt. So college memory unlocked if Arizona and Wisconsin meet up in the Sweet 16, I believe. Yeah. That's a Sweet 16 game. So I kind of actually want to see that. Shout out Kato. He said we here. And he said when the tournament starts. So the tournament actually starts Tuesday. The round of 64 starts Tuesday. It goes into Wednesday. And then the round of 64, which is the second round, starts Thursday. That's when the 16 games in the same day happens. That starts Thursday. And then the round of 32 starts Saturday. So a lot of ball there. But let's go ahead and sign out. Appreciate all of y'all for watching. Appreciate all of you for just tuning in, checking in. Now, we do have a network. This is a network. And since this is a network, we have multiple shows. We have the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. And might as well say me. But anyway, they go live Monday and Thursday, 7 to about 8. Well, about 8:30 is basically. Make sure. Hold on. Got a question. Joe asks, and I kind of covered this already, UCLA as a sleeper. Now, UCLA is dealing with an injury in Tyler Bilodeau. Don't know how serious it is. They said it was a knee sprain, but there's multiple grades of a knee sprain. They do take on UCF in the first round, or round of 64, excuse me, which I can see UCF winning that game. Can't lie to you. I can definitely see UCF winning that game. And if UCLA does win, they will more than likely be they'd be more than likely taking on UConn, which I don't think they beat UConn. So I don't have them getting out the first weekend, or first week, unfortunately for them. But they could win a game, but they could also win none. And then shout out Cardo. He says, make sure y'all become a member. The parlay chat by the E. Hopefully he is correct, but we do win in that parlay chat. So it is. You do get your money. It's only a $10 membership. And it's not like you're not paying just to be a member of the parlay chat. You are paying to become a member of the R2L chats. But if you are a superstar member of the R2L chats, then you get access to the parlay chat. So you're not paying. It's not a paid Discord where you're paying for picks. You're paying to become a superstar member of the R2L chat. And the perk of being a superstar member is the R2L, meaning the parlay chat. So just throwing that out there. He said, I heard your sleepers earlier. I wrote them down. Just wanted to make sure UCLA and Santa Clara. So UCLA isn't a sleeper, in my opinion. Santa Clara is a potential upset, in my opinion, versus Kentucky. But yeah, I don't have either one as a dark horse or anything. But yeah, getting back to the shows. And again, keep asking. As I'm closing, I will answer questions. So we have Unfazed featuring Joe and AJ. They go live at night. Now the days are uncertain due to, life, work schedules. They're in different time zones. So just catch them when you can. Next, we have BWT with shout out Baseball with Teddy. We got the World Baseball Classic coming to a close. We have the semifinals, America versus the DR tonight at 8:00. I'm definitely locked in. And like I told Joe on the show, man, if America win, we lit. But if the DR win, I know black papi, I'm Dominican. I'm Dominican papi, I know black. This is a joke, but still, man, should be a great entertaining game to watch. But shout out Teddy, man. He's been dropping episodes recapping the WBC. Next, we have FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Free agency still going on. Seems like it's coming to a halt, but free agency never really ends. It's just the buzz of free agency really ends. So be on the lookout for his shows. Obviously, football season is over. Football season's over, but he's still dropping content. He's dropping shorts and stuff like that. By the way, Coach, Kenneth Walker was not traded. But anyway, I digress. Next, we have RBO, Real Ballers Only. My Pistons, like I said earlier, took a loss to the Raptors. NBA show featuring Vaughn. Playoffs is around the corner. Right when the tournament ends, it's only like maybe a week or two before the NBA playoffs start. So make sure you look out for RBO. Dave's Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sport. We have In the Red Corner featuring Tyreek and Tomo, boxing episodes, all your boxing needs. Probably the most unique show of the group because they do boxing. But they go live on Sundays. Not every Sunday, but when they do go live, it is on Sundays. And they start around 6:30. And last show, we have Zero Sports Talk with Griffey, who's also been breaking down the WBC. He is a newer show. So, again, I don't know the logistics. He drops episodes. So, whenever he drops them, just go ahead and check them out. But, yeah, those are all the shows on the network. So, please like, comment, share, subscribe to those shows as well as mine because it all helps. It helps everyone out. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. And I've been on here talking for about an hour. So, I'm about to get off. I'm about to go find something to do for an hour because ain't no college basketball on, obviously. There's no NBA on TV. I do not have League Pass, so I can't watch none right now. And the WBC don't start for another hour, so who knows what I'm about to do. Maybe get on the Madden, maybe do something productive, maybe start writing up for my show Tuesday. Who knows? But that's all I got for y'all today. I will be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock again with my guests and let at the moment, if anything changes, I will let Joe know. But until then, man, y'all have fun filling out brackets. I know people about to fill out a ton of brackets, about to fill out at least 30, 40 brackets. I'm only filling out one, and that's the R2L bracket. It won't be tonight. Y'all be on the lookout for it, though, R2L family. Just won't be tonight. But I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.